Hello, I am Cassandra Holloway and I'm with the Brattleboro Area Prevention Coalition, and I'm here today to talk to you about the Counterbalance campaign. We're working to raise awareness about how the tobacco industry targets youth with tobacco advertisement and products in the retail environment and that impact that has on youth using tobacco. Counterbalance is part of a continuum of work to reduce the toll of tobacco use on youth in Vermont. There are many reasons why tobacco continues to plague our communities, and today we're going to focus on its marketing and advertising in the retail environments. The tobacco industry spends over $1 million an hour on advertising in the United States. In Vermont, tobacco companies spend over $19 million to market its products each year. That's about $220 for every Vermonter under the age of 18. Why are the tobacco companies spending all this money? They need to recruit new replacement smokers. And as you can see from the numbers, their marketing works. 90% of new smokers are underage youth. 88% of adult smokers began smoking by the age of 18. Every day in the United States, more than 3,000 youth under the age of 18 smoke their first cigarette. The Surgeon General's report concluded, based on scientific evidence, that the marketing of tobacco products to youth is a cause of youth tobacco use. Specifically, 1/3 of teenage smoking experimentation is a result of tobacco advertising. That means that advertising is actually convincing kids to take tobacco products. The tobacco industry knows this, and that is why they're willing to spend billions of dollars each year on advertising. They know if they can get kids to start, they have a good chance of getting them addicted at a young age and turning them into lifelong smokers. Today, there are regulations in place to help prevent youth exposure to tobacco marketing. Tobacco companies can no longer advertise tobacco in places they previously relied on, like on television, on the radio, or on billboards. So where do they recruit new customers? Although other types of tobacco marketing have been restricted, convenience stores and other retail outlets remain places where kids are certain to see tobacco advertising. Retail stores are the primary place where tobacco companies recruit new tobacco users. Why does the tobacco industry focus on the retail environment? 70% of youth visit convenience stores at least once a week. It's not hard to see why nearly 90% of adult smokers started before they turned 18. You can also see the influence tobacco advertisement has reflected on the brands teens use. It's no accident that 85% of teenagers prefer Marlboro, Camel, and Newports, the three most heavily advertised brands. Tobacco marketing inside the retail environment includes advertisements, branded merchandise, price promotions, and power walls. Those are the large tobacco product displays usually set up behind the register. However, a trip inside the store is not required for youth to be exposed to tobacco advertising. Tobacco marketing is highly visible to youth from outside the store as well. Tobacco ads are also often placed at or below eye level for a young child. As British American Tobacco once said, eye level is buy level because items placed at eye level are more likely to be purchased. Ask the children in your life if they've noticed tobacco products and advertising in the stores. So here's the bottom line. The more often kids are exposed to tobacco advertising, the more likely they are to start using tobacco. As you can see, this is a big problem. We need to stand together to reduce the toll of tobacco on youth in Vermont. The Vermont Department of Health launched Counterbalance in October of 2014 with store assessments and audits to increase understanding of how the tobacco industry markets in Vermont. From October to December of 2014, 930 Vermont stores visits were made, resulting in 757 completed audits. Store audit teams audited stores for tobacco, alcohol, and food availability and marketing. Store assessment teams included community coalitions such as Brattleboro Area Prevention Coalition, health department district offices such as the one here in Brattleboro, and tobacco youth coalitions such as our local Brattleboro Middle School's Vermont Kids Against Tobacco, also known as VCAT, And together, we completed 33 of the audits in this community. Some of the general findings from the audits were that the majority of Vermont tobacco retailers are convenience stores, 57%, followed by small grocery stores, 18%, supermarkets, 8%, and pharmacies, 7%. 41% of tobacco retailers had some form of exterior advertisement, so that's outside of the store and on their exterior windows. The majority of tobacco retailers, 54% of them, offered price promotions for tobacco products. Most importantly, it helps identify three main areas in the retail environment that we can focus on to reduce the toll of tobacco on youth in Vermont. From our community assessment results, we identified three key issues impacting Vermont communities that we can begin to address to reduce tobacco advertisement on youth in Vermont. These issues are the sale and promotion of cigarillos, tobacco in pharmacies, and the proximity of tobacco retailers to schools and places that children play. These are not the only issues concerning tobacco marketing and advertising in Vermont, but they are three areas in which we feel we can make the most immediate impact. 12% of stores that sell tobacco are located within 1,000 feet of a school or park, places where we want our children to be safe and healthy. 72% of Vermont tobacco retail stores sell flavored cigarillos, and nearly 2/3 sell single cigarillos. These products are gaining popularity among youth. We'll talk more about that in a second. 98% of Vermont independent pharmacies are tobacco-free, but many chains still sell tobacco, and we want to ultimately reduce the number to 0 because tobacco and pharmacies don't mix. We're going to discuss each of these in a little more detail. The first issue we want to address in Vermont is youth being exposed to tobacco advertising near school and parks. There's approximately 1,000 stores that sell tobacco in Vermont, and 12% of them are located within the area of a school or park. In some places, close to 50% of these tobacco retail stores are located near these places where children learn and play. Retail stores within 1,000 feet of a school are more likely to be in a low-income neighborhood, have advertisement at the eye level of young children, have exterior advertising, offer discounts in nearly all products, especially cigarillos and smokeless products. We want children to be in an environment that makes safe and healthy choices easy for them. We want these areas to be safe for our children no matter what neighborhood they live in. In our statewide assessment, we found that a higher percentage of stores near schools have tobacco advertisement visible from outside the store. That means a trip inside the store isn't even necessary for a child to be exposed to tobacco marketing. They'll see it on their way to and from school every day. If they do stop in the store on the way to or from school, they're more likely to encounter eye-level advertising, discount products, and as you'll see in a moment, as more likely to see little cigars, which are attractive and affordable to youth. Not only is there a concentration of tobacco retailers near the Brattleboro High School and Middle School, but these retailers have the largest display of tobacco products and advertisements compared to any of the other retailers in this community. Cigarillos is what we're going to talk about next. Those are short, narrow cigars, often come in a variety of fruit flavors and are smoked just like cigarettes. Cigarettes now illegal to be sold in flavors other than menthol, but cigarillos are not, do not apply to those rules. They often contain flavors like cherry, chocolate, blueberry, and are attractive, accessible, and affordable to youth. They're also just as addictive, harmful, and deadly as cigarettes. A single cigarillo contains 3 times as much tobacco than a single cigarette and contains the same toxic chemicals. In 2010, the FDA again banned the sale of single cigarettes as well as candy and fruit-flavored cigarettes. But cigarillos were not included in that ban, and they're continuing to be marketed and are very attractive to youth. Cigarillos can be sold in packs and in singles to keep the price low. 39% of retail stores in the state selling single cigarillos advertise them for less than $1. which the average price of a pack of cigarettes in Vermont is about $8.12. The tobacco industry knows that price is one of the most powerful factors for tobacco use, especially for youth. These cheap, flavored, accessible products are about twice as likely to be smoked by high schoolers than by adults. 3/4 of this community's tobacco retail stores sell flavored cigarillos, and of those, 90% sell single cigarillos. And 1 in 20 Windham County high school students have smoked a cigar or a cigarillo in the past 30 days. Selling tobacco in pharmacies is what we're going to discuss next. It sends a mixed message for both adults and youth. 98% of independent pharmacies in Vermont are proud to be tobacco-free, and all of our local independent pharmacies choose to be tobacco-free. But the tobacco industry continues to advertise and sell their products in many of the chain pharmacies across Vermont. Of the pharmacies that sell tobacco in Vermont, 35% have tobacco advertisement at eye level for a young child, and 10% have tobacco advertising visible outside of stores. We want pharmacies to be a place where kids and adults go to improve their health and to learn to make good choices. On average, pharmacies dedicate 66 square feet inside of their store to tobacco advertising. That's bigger than a banner for a school sports team. Kids notice those banners, and they're definitely going to notice the tobacco advertising. Health complications caused by tobacco cost Vermont $348 million in direct health care expenditures each year. It is a conflict of interest for pharmacies to sell both the product that causes these complications and the products to treat the illnesses that they create. Here is why Jim Hill from Putney Pharmacy chooses not to sell tobacco.
This is Jim Heel, the owner of the Putney General Store and Pharmacy. I've been a pharmacist for 30 years. I am an ex-smoker. One of the first things we did when we bought the store was to remove cigarettes from the store. How could I have a pharmacy and sell cigarettes? We decided not to sell cigarettes. People are happy that we don't sell cigarettes. And if you are a smoker, stop by and see us. We can help you quit smoking.
Although these great strides have been made in reducing youth smoking, still 1 in 20 Windham County high school students are daily smokers. This past year and over the upcoming year, Brattleboro Area Prevention Coalition and the Brattleboro Area Middle School's Vermont Kids Against Tobacco, also known as VCAT, are going to continue to educate our community and their peers on how the tobacco industry is targeting them as replacement smokers. VCAT created a photo voice project about the influence of tobacco advertisement and marketing on youth through their own words and pictures. And I'm going to play this video now.
Candy-flavored cigarettes are now illegal, but tobacco industries still sell other tobacco products in over 45 flavors, including e-cigarettes and cigarillos.
Even though there is a warning, it's so small in place so people still may want to buy it.
When I'm walking around someplace, I see tons of cigarette litter on the ground. To be honest, I find this disgusting. It's litter and unhealthy for the people and for the earth. If you think about it, the empty packs of cigarettes that are on the ground count as advertisements for little kids to see.
When I walk into the stores and I see cigarette advertisement right next to the candy, they're trying to tell me the cigarettes are delicious too.
You can join the movement by going to counterbalancevt.com or facebook.com/counterbalancevt. You can help our local efforts by contacting Brattleboro Area Prevention Coalition at 257-2175 or BAPC802@gmail.com to see how you can help us in the work that we're doing here in our community.